Welcome to WackyWhiteys Top 5 Games of 2012. Please subscribe and like, and as always, keep gaming, my fellow geeks. Get the geek on.
Hey everybody, welcome to WackyWhiteys Top 5 Games of 2012. I am your host with the most, So Nuts. There were many great games that came out this year, and it was really hard choosing only 5 from my top 5, but I have chosen 5 and you're about to see the 5 that I have chosen. So let's jump right into them, shall we? Number 5, which is Assassin's Creed 3. Sure, the game starts off slow. It takes about 3 or 4 hours to get into the meat of the game where you finally play as grown-up Connors. But as soon as you do, the whole world opens up. You can travel back and forth from Boston to the frontier to Homestead. You can choose to stick to the story path. You can choose to take your own path, do side quests, do mini games, go hunting. And the hunting is really cool because they have snares you can set up. You put down a snare, throw down some bait, boom, got you a deer, got you a rabbit. Or you can choose to do the more personal approach by putting some bait down under a tree that you're on top of. As soon as a deer comes and starts eating it, you dive down, stab them in the freaking neck, skin them, take your skin to a freaking store, sell it, get some money, buy some new weapons and clothes. You can also participate in epic naval battles where you control the ship and you control the cannons and what they're shooting at. You can also choose to do parkour through the frontier, all through the trees, which is a really nice mechanic that wasn't in previous Assassin's Creed games. You can also choose to do parkour through the cities, running up the buildings all the way to the tippy top, finding all the synchronization points, and then doing the dive afterwards into the haystacks. You can choose to just run around killing every Templar you see with an upgraded combat system that is reminiscent of Arkham City, where you just counter so smoothly back and forth to every person that's coming at you. And you can also do double counters this time, so if two people are coming at you at the same time, you mash the counter button at the exact moment. You can make them stab each other, you can knock their guns down, stab them in the neck. I mean, there's just so much to do in this game, and the combat is just so fun that it's just a shame that this hasn't been on anybody else's top 5 games list, but it's definitely on mine. So anyways, let's jump on to number 4, which is Max Payne 3. First off, the game is gorgeous. It has some of the best graphics you'll find on a current gen console to date. The attention to detail is astounding. The environments, the characters, the voice acting, and the soundtrack all bleed together to make one great cinematic experience. Bullet time and shoot dodge are back and better than ever. The way Max moves and shoots, the way the enemies react to hits, the way every bullet is accounted for when hitting an enemy. You see the hole in their body. It's just all realistic, and you won't find that in any other type of game. And there's also nostalgic moments where you get to go back in New Jersey and play as the younger Max that you're used to from the first 2 games and shoot it out with some Guido motherfucking mobsters. And they also have multiplayer, which is very underrated. A lot of people played it when Max Payne first came out. I know I sure did. I love the shit out of it. I still play it, even though it's hard to find people to play with online since everybody's playing Blops 2. Who likes that game? Anyways, we're gonna head on to the next one, shall we? Number 3, which is Dishonored. This game is fucking awesome. It's like BioShock and Assassin's Creed fucked and had a baby. The art style is awesome. I love the whole look and feel of the environments. Even though the game really isn't open world, it still feels like it is because it gives you many different routes you can take to get to an objective, so it doesn't feel like it's a linear game at all. You can choose to be malicious and violent, or you can choose to be subtle and non-violent, or a mixture of both. But either way, whichever you choose will affect what goes on in the world and will affect the ending of the game. My favorite thing about the game, though, is all the unique powers you can get. First off, you get Blink, which allows you to just appear like 100 feet in front of you within a blink of an eye, just like, poof. Oh yeah, shit's cool. Then they got Possession, which allows you to take over the body of a rat, a fish, or even a human being, which helps out in some missions. There's also Swarm, where you can summon a swarm of rats and then they just devour your foes, just eat them, eat all their flesh until there's nothing left. Then there's my personal favorite, which is slow time, where you can completely slow time, shoot your crossbow, shoot your gun, see the bullets or arrows coming at them, unfreeze time, boom, takes all their heads off. It's just a beautiful, gory sight. It's fucking gore-tastic. And there's plenty more. I'm not going to name them all, but if you haven't played this game and you like violent or stealth games, you should definitely go pick it up. Anyway, let's move on to number 2, which is Hitman Absolution. Agent 47 is the one that started it all. He was taking out targets way before Ezio, Connors, or Corvo were even a brain fart in a developer's mind. I waited 6 long years for this game, but it was well worth it. Just because it's so pretty. Each level is unique and has many different ways you can go about completing them. You can choose to be patient, wait for the right moment to strike and take out just the target, or you can pull out an AR-15 and maul down everyone in your path, including the target. It's the power of choice, and that's what has made the Hitman such a great game since the franchise started. There's just so many different ways you can take out your targets that you'll end up replaying levels over and over again just to see the different outcomes. You can choose to cause an accident, choose to poison their coffee, choose to poison their food, push them down off a mountain or something. You can stab them in the neck, throw a knife from a distance, stab them in between the eyes. You can hit them with a fucking statue. You can dress up as a samurai, stab them in the back of the neck with a sword. You can slit their throats. You can use the famous fiber wire and drag them to a bin, dump them. You can change into different outfits so you can sneak around and take out your target silently. I mean, there is just so much replay value in this game, and that's why it's my number 2, just because I'm still playing it, and I'll probably continue playing it for many months to come. But yeah, let's move on to number 1, which is Far Cry 3. This game is massive. This is basically this year's Skyrim. You're in this big, beautiful, tropical, open world, and you have the freedom to do whatever you choose. This game is basically a mix of Skyrim, Dishonored, Grand Theft Auto, Just Cause, Call of Duty, and Cabela's Big Game Hunter all in one nice little package. You can steal vehicles, run people over, go jet skiing, go hunting, go paragliding. You can kill a bunch of pirates and take over their bases. You can perform stealth takedowns and just so much more. There's also random things that occur, like you could be walking through the woods and all of a sudden you see a leopard chasing a deer and he pounces on him and eats him. Or you could be walking by a river and an alligator just pops from out of nowhere and pulls you in, and then you gotta stab it to death. This game can be really, really unpredictable, and it's fucking awesome. There's also a lot of weapons you can unlock, along with pimp-ass upgrades including suppressors and scopes. To be able to carry all that, you must hunt animals and use their skin to craft pouches and wallets and holsters, which I thought was a nice little touch to this game, since it basically is you trying to survive out in the jungle. There's also skill trees that you can unlock with skill points that help you become more accurate, become more tougher, and also unlocks better melee takedowns. On top of all that, it has a pretty damn good story with one of the most sadistic and coolest bad guys in a game since Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City's Joker. Now you put all of that together, you got yourself a game of the year right there. And that is my game of the year. That's why it's number 1. If you haven't played it, you most definitely should. If it don't matter if you even like first-person shooters or not. This game is fun as hell. I don't really like first-person shooters. I'm a third-person gamer. I like Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, those type of games. So I rarely play first-person shooters, but when I do, I make sure they're the good ones, and this is definitely a good one. So make sure you go buy that. It's well worth the money. Anyways, peace out. Thanks for watching my top 5 games of 2012. Hope y'all have a great holiday. Subscribe and like. Peace out, my geeks and geekettes. What's up, ladies?